Yes, so good day and welcome once again to Talk It Talk. It's always a pleasure being here. I'm always happy to be here. And the fact that at this moment, at this time, you are locked down at home, you are not as free as you should. Even now on a weekend where you usually celebrate your pagan holidays like your Easter and stuff like that. I could guarantee you that not celebrating it wouldn't do anything bad to you. As a matter of fact, it'll do good to you because you'll save your money because that is pagan and that is just institutions to take your money and stuff like that, okay? And it's devilish. Anyway, you are home, okay? You have television, which I guess you maybe get tired with that over the first week. You get tired sleeping maybe over the first week also. Okay, maybe you're just eating because you do it because that is just happen automatic, but you don't actually enjoy stuff like that home unless you find something else that could basically feed the spirit, you know, and stuff like that. Most of you run away from home because your spirit is actually seeking some freedom, but you don't know what to feed it with. So as usual, you function in the flesh and you run away from home. You go here, you go this, you do whatever you do. Right now, you cannot go here, there, running all around. You are home. So you are in the valley of decision right now. So you are concentrated. So I think is the time, as I said in previous videos, time you could do introspections and stuff, like look within. Because that is important because Christ told us that the the spirit of the kingdom of heaven is within us. So that means there are some point when you have to look within to find your truth, right? And we have to learn to face things and see things for what they are, okay? Regardless if it is traditional or basically that is what we know, that is what they tell us, but we still have to question stuff. And one of the things I personally always question, is what you term these days our culture, okay? And I'm relating to stuff like even carnival, stuff like Easter, Christmas, and stuff like even the very calypso and all those things. Most of the things is like, and we call it that. We proud of it. That is part of our culture. That is what I say. But my question is, how long we have been here? We know for a fact that we have not been living here for quite a period of time. I mean, we only recently came here. And I realized that everything that we do here in this part of the world, everything we do here is what we adopted here, what they give us here. So, how it becomes our culture, that is not our customs. That is not what we know. That is not what is embedded in us. That is why we just can't get things together because we are actually doing things that is not written on our DNA. You see, that is why we are so confused, and that is the reason in many cases we follow everything except our own. That is why you find that we love every nation except our own people. You understand? Because we learn here how to serve other nations. We learn here how to serve other peoples, not us. We didn't learn here how to serve our own people. We did not. So when you see prime ministers in this region and leaders and even local people are wrong as a matter of fact, you know, doing everything to contribute to the well-being of a foreign nation. I mean, that is the culture they give you. You understand? When you if you have a prime minister or prime ministers, whosoever they are, and everything they do is in the interest of foreign nation, whether they give business to the World Bank or they give business to the IMF to pay them back in interest while their own people is suffering and they doesn't have a 2 grain of fig to eat. When you see people doing those kind of things, you know definitely that they are living based on the culture that was given to them when they came here. They because they are working in the interest of the enemies, and that's the absolute truth. So let's take a little look at certain things. Is there anywhere that anyone could actually come and convince me or even comment about it or even let me know or let other people know which part of our culture as a people we had carnival before slavery. We had carnival making jab jab and making shotney and those kind of things. Which part of our culture we had that? You see, the French had been here, the English had been here, and the Portuguese maybe were here too. And all these people who had us in slavery, they could claim the carnival. They could say they actually does have carnival. Even before we came here, they used to have carnival. The same revelry, the same whole act of OGs and stuff like what most people usually perform on Carnival Day. The Romans, the heathens always do stuff like that. You understand? Which part of our culture we had that before we came into slavery? You understand? But yet we sit here and we say that that is our culture and we will not turn away from it. No, that is a mark of slavery, just like your name is a mark of bondage. You see, I know for a fact that most of you will find it hard to accept, but that's the absolute truth. You understand? That is a mark of slavery. Even your Eastern, your whatever, all those are marks of slavery. Your name, marks of slavery. Okay? See, for example, people singing calypso. Now, a lot of people might even get hurt because they'll see that is our culture also. Well, the truth of the matter is, calypso in itself, they said, was invented during slavery. People find a way to relate and stuff like that. We are those kind of people. So we have singing, we have dancing and stuff in our blood. You understand? Naturally. Right? So we could even say that calypso is part of whatever. You understand? But then let's put it at this. During the time of slavery, people said people used to sing and do things to give peacock to the white people or to these enslavers, right? But no, at this point in time, okay, calypso is not used to fight down oppressors and stuff. Calypso is used right now in many ways to debase our women, make them look like sluts and harlots on the street, all running around naked and looking like little hoes. You understand? Men abusing them on stage and doing all this nasty stuff. Our women, right? And on top of that, it is used to fight people. It's not you don't used to actually enlighten the people in the sense of the oppression that is really going on. Well, based on the works of our enemies, or to get the people to walk away from this enslavement that we're experiencing. Everything is done is to, okay, oppression from your own people. Think about it. You get it? Calypso singing about oppression, but from who? Think about it. That is from our own people. Well, originally people will tell you that they used to use those things to maybe give picking to those other people. Anyway, it turned back on us now. So you singing against your own people. Where that used to be happening in our culture way back when. So everything we do now, it's not against the original enemies we have. We work against ourselves. Okay, it's like some bad disease and it have you working against yourself and you call that culture. So your culture is to sing, debase your women. If you're not debasing your women and talking ill of your own people, then you talk ill of your so-called leaders are your own people, as a matter of fact. And you say that is part of your culture. How would that become part of your culture? You were given that in slavery. Because in slavery, they was putting you against each other. That is the mark of slavery also, what we do. Okay, I'm not saying that we wasn't supposed to find a way to live. The fact that they put us here. But you see, the whole idea is to what I am saying is that we adopt all the ways of the heathen. Okay, take for example, again, the whole idea of rum, right? Rum. Now, you realize that in places like Grenada and other places in the Caribbean, we have what you call the rum culture. That is what I call that. Where our people drink a whole lot of rum constantly, right? Because of the same rum, right? Because of the same rum, you find that certain industries they don't even make the sugar anymore, right? They make rum instead. Rum, 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 rum. Rum is like a cornerstone of our community, maybe our culture, as you might say. You know, so we are known for rum. Yes, we are known for rum. As a matter of fact, there was one time they say Grenadians drinking the most rum in the world. We are known for rum. And then you tell yourself, well, that is part of our culture. That was never originally part of your culture. That is the mark of slavery. That is one of the reasons they bring you down here to make rum. They also give you stuff like carnival, carnival and Easter and stuff like that to get you like to entertain you in this way so that your slavery will be palatable. You would look forward to that. That is what they did. While they slave you, and they're still doing that. Is the same way it is happening up to now. Most of you always look forward. You walk, and you look forward to Easter. You look forward to Christmas. You know, and that is the time you make a whole lot of cake, a whole set of this. You gorge yourself, and then you back out to work as a slave once more. And that is your culture. That was never your culture. Rum, drinking rum and reveling like drunkards and little hoes in the place. That's never your culture. You're better than that. You see, you adopt that because you adopt the ways of the heathens. You understand? That is not your culture. You know, you wasn't like that. You were spoiled. As the scripture say, who spoiled you? You understand? You were spoiled. So that could never be part of your culture. Look at it right now. Every disease your enemies get, you get it too. Why? Get it too because we have been living according to we are maybe dancing according to their tune for ages. And not once we'll sit and think and say, you know what? That is not the way we should go. Our eating habits currently are habits that was given to us by the slave masters. our eating habits, the way we relate to each other, in all this hatred and wickedness, is what had been given to us by our slave master. You understand? That is the whole truth. Look at that and try to understand that. Our language, the way we speak. As a matter of fact, the scripture already said that when we break the covenant, that we will find ourselves in slavery in a place or in a land ruled by a people, you understand, with a language that our ancestors or our foreparents never heard of. Okay? So let us look at this. That is our people, right? Because we don't know this language. When they brought us here into slavery, we didn't know like this English. English is a no language at all. But then if you notice that they didn't want you to learn the language because it was a strange language, a confusing language. They didn't want us to learn because they feel that we might have been able to communicate with them. They didn't want to communicate with us. They just wanted us to be able to understand something that they tell us to just do. They didn't want to integrate with us because if you could communicate with them on a level, you understand, then that is integration in its form, in some form or the other, because it's like you know the language, so you could speak to them, they could understand you, you could understand. That is just the beginning, not all. Anyway, that is happening now, but there are still wickedness because they hate you anyway. The point I'm making is this: they didn't want you to learn to read, they didn't want you to learn to understand nothing. So they give you certain words, or they make you feel that you could communicate with them, but you cannot communicate with them. They communicating with you. So they give you certain words, and when they give you certain words, you like an idiot, like a dumb animal, learning colloquial, what you call colloquial language then, right? You learn those kind of languages like broken English. Broken, yes, because you are broken people, so they have you learning broken English, okay? Because you wouldn't know English properly if you learn to read. So they have you not reading, uneducated, and they give you this broken English. And then because of the way you speak, most of you adopt this broken English as part of your culture. You listen how the Jamaican might speak, the words they might say. You listen how some Grenadians would speak. You listen to how some Bajan, whosoever, once you're black, you speak in a particular way because of that broken English. And then you accept that as part of your culture. No, that's an idiot language. And this language is a language of slavery, and it's broken. You understand what I'm saying? So most of the things that they did, the way we deal with each other, the way we look at ourselves, each and every part of that is broken, just like your language. How that could be originally your language? No, your culture. No, it can't happen. French, the French were here. As I tell you, all the abusive people that was spoiling us during those times. The French were here, but then right now you have stuff you call patois, which people were even now people are very they like this part. They feel part that is part of our culture. We should learn that. We should learn that. We should teach our children that. You understand? That is a culture of slavery because that is broken French. And we learn patois based on the French slave masters we have. So that is part of slavery. To be free, to be a real free person, right? From slavery, you have to drop all the things that you adopt in slavery. I'm telling you, you have to drop all the cultures, everything, this so-called culture that they give us in slavery, the things that we adopt in slavery, we have to drop every one of them. You must, you know. People who serve Elohim should know that if you want to, you want to go back to your original self, the self that our Elohim created us to be. Then all the nasty habits that you adopt, you have to break it. You have to ask for forgiveness. You have to clean yourself. You have to purge yourself from that. The same thing goes to your freedom. You understand? So when people running around and saying, this is your culture, they teach you that in school, this is your culture, this is rum culture, revelry and sluttish culture. I mean, come on. Right now, just now you'll tell me that being homosexual is part of your culture. As a matter of fact, people try to argue that that used to be happening in our people's community back then. But then again, that is when our people adopt ways of the hidden. And when they are found, they are killed doing that. But we have this bad habit of always adopting other people's culture, other people's ways, because that is how they train you to do, to feed from them, their evil, and say that is your culture. That is not yours. They're robbing us. They rob our names, they rob our real heritage. They rob a lot of our culture. They rob it and make it theirs. They even calling themselves, they try to call themselves by our name and by who we are. Wake up, right? The scriptures say, right? And we cannot live like that. You know, I always refer to that scripture that is in Jeremiah 6:16. He said, thus saith Yahuwah, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old path. Where is the good way, and walk therein? Ye shall find rest for your souls. But most of you said, we will not walk therein. Because most of you will find that is old-fashioned. Most of you will find that we advance in this world. So we can live like how we used to live. But the scriptures say that's where you'll find. Excuse that way, that is where you'll find your peace and your rest. In the old ways. And the old ways that we are talking about is the old ways where we originally came from, where we used to be living in the presence of our Elohim. And he didn't have any whoredom going on and any foolishness of the sort. That is the old ways. That is our culture. And English, not our culture. This broken French, not our. This carnival and all this foolishness that is happening, that does not belong to us. But then if you look within yourself, you'll find the old ways and you'll find peace. Right now, I could guarantee you that most of you, after you all come out from the lockdown, you will feel this sense of peace. You will feel this sense of freedom when you come from that. I could guarantee you. And if when you come out there, you want to run back into all the nasty stuff, eat up all your KFC, you know, just bloat up yourself, you know, run back and do all this nasty thing you're accustomed doing. If you do that, you're like a dog returning to your vomit. If you all know how our Elohim love his people and he would do anything for you to sit down and think, because he said, oh, my people, they are sottish. My people doesn't consider. No, put you in that position where you will have to consider if you hear his voice. Say, my sheep hear my voice. You understand? If you're not his, I expect you to go back and do all your foolishness. Everything that happened on the face of the earth is for the benefit of the Most High people, for Yah's people, everything. You understand? So if when you come out in your place, you still want to be wicked in this lockdown, you still want to be wicked, you still want to be the kind of person who want to go eat everything, you kind of person that want to go hold on the place and disrespect your own people, if that is what you want to do, then as I said, dog returns to vomit once more. It's as simple as that. So that is what we gotta do. We have to sit down and look at this thing very carefully, you know, and ask yourself if that is part of your life. No, it is not. I personally look at it and I realize that is not part of our life. We supposed to drop those things. I mean, like seriously, we supposed to take all these things from our lives. All these things. You see, unless we do that, you would never see the glory of our Elohim. Because the reason for that is because they pile up a whole lot of things on you that you have to be looking forward to every month, every year, everything. You have to be looking forward to that. And that distracts you from our Elohim. You know, it's like you have stumbling blocks in your way. The heathen did that to you, and they did that to you while you were in slavery. Can you tell me that any time before slavery, when you used to be celebrating Christmas and Easter? No, not our people. But after slavery, our people start doing all kind of wickedness. You always do wickedness. That is what bring you here in the first place. But this time, our history is like our wickedness is paramount. That is why our Elohim said, this time around, you ain't going back in slavery this time. This time you're going to destroy the wicked. And if you align yourself with the hidden, you getting destroyed with the wicked, with the hidden, same speed. Because you will automatically become a hidden. No wonder why you find that a lot of people in certain Christian churches teaches our people that they are Gentiles. So act like them. Be like the Gentile. Be like the Philistine. They poisoning your head with that. This thing is not part of our culture. Don't let nobody tell you that your culture is drinking rum. All these things are marks of slavery. You learn all the stuff in slavery. They brought you here to cut cane in slavery. They brought you here to do all this cotton stuff, slavery. You understand? And you're using the same rum that they brought you here and you adopt in slavery, destroying your people. They brought you here to bring tobacco, yeah, tobacco, sell tobacco, give your people cigarette to smoke, kill them, poison the temple. That is mark of slavery. That is not our thing. That is why we have to be on a mission to cut off all these things from our life, regardless of what people say. People look at you and they might think that, oh yeah, you're a cultural icon. Cultural icon, my food. That have nothing to do with you and your life. The more you get into this thing, the more deeper you go into this thing, is the more you separate yourself from who you truly are. Adopting ways of hidden, thinking like hidden, So it's time. If you are in lockdown right now, I know you are, you understand, then sit and think positive. Sit and think and ask yourself some questions that you never really want to look at, but you feel it deep within. You feel it. I know you feel it. Bring it out and ask yourself those questions. You feel it. Each and every one of us feel it. But as I said, my sheep would hear my voice. Just like, see, like Yahushua said, my sheep would hear my voice. So when he speak within you, if you are one of his, you will know and you will answer. If all you want to do is to suppress it, that is not you, and you want you in a case of denial, then I'm sorry for you. You understand? But you have to have the strength and the willpower. Maybe you don't even need all that strength. All you need to do is just accept it and just start looking at it, investigate it. Because I could guarantee you, if it was not, if you adopt it, if it happens during slavery, and the only time it happened in your life was during slavery, that wasn't your culture. And that is not your culture. So think about it. Carnival, they give you that. Let the slave and I'm going to jump up and be happy. The Romans do the same thing. The French do the same thing. You understand? Let it go happy. So when they go back to work, they'll go singing and dancing in the cane field and the cotton fields. But depends on where you get it, give you a different version, right? Then, as it turn out, depends on who enslave you, you get it to suit yourself. How is it? Okay, like the French give you this carnival and the English, but people, slaves who were in America, enslaved by different people, by certain Jews and stuff like that. Did they get carnival? No, they ain't singing calypso, but they're doing something else. They're singing a different tune. You understand? But all these things is what they adopt in slavery. You understand? So you look at it, you think about it deeply, you know, deeply think about it. And I could guarantee you, if it begins in slavery, if it is in slavery that we adopt it, you have to drop it. You ever ask yourself why are one of the reasons why it had people who came from Egypt 400 years in bondage? You understand? You ever ask yourself why they stayed 40 years in the wilderness? They stayed 40 years in the wilderness because they adopted so many nasty ways in Egypt that the Most High wanted them to drop all those ways in the wilderness. So by the time they reach in the promised land, they will be clean and pure because they'll be re-educated. Hence the reason you find that they were trying to worship idols and they want a plenty meat to eat and stuff like that. They wasn't satisfied, they wasn't contented. Do you see a pattern here? Yeah. Because what they adopted after 400 years in Egypt wasn't of our Elohim. They adopted the ways of the heathen. The truth is, our Elohim always loved our people. But that doesn't mean he wouldn't destroy you. You understand what I'm saying? So that is one of the reasons the children of Israel stayed 40 years in the wilderness. Because let me tell you this, the major, maybe all the people, maybe with the exception of Elijah or so, did not make it to the promised land. Everybody who walked out of Egypt physically died in the wilderness in 40 years. And the Most High had to have it like that because they would have gone and pollute the land, the promised land, with all the ways of the heathen. So he wanted them to spend these 40 years in the wilderness to drop all the ways of the heathen. Now you do the same because right now you are in the wilderness of the people. Do the same. That is not our culture. Time we have to look within and see that and feel it and experience it. So be at peace, be blessed, and this season that we are in right now, I'm gonna tell you once more. Be safe. Be really safe. Cover yourself with the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach and be safe. That is your safety net. Be at peace, be blessed.